I swear, if I catch you vermin out here again, I'm gonna... Well now, what we got here? Damn, they look to be in rough shape. Thankfully it wasn't from me. Can't leave a wee little old thing out here, now can I? Well, let's get you somewhere safe, sweetheart. I wouldn't get up so fast if I were you. That buzz be hitting different after a long night of drinking. Not a drinker, huh? Well, at least I can cross out drunken brawl off the list of reasons for you showing up on my property, nearly looking like a parrot that just had its feathers plucked. You're on my farm, sweetheart. Where else would you be? A wildlife solution facility? Nah, I'm not the owner. More like the beneficiary of it. It's my job to keep the crops safe from any vermin that like to think we have a walk-in all-you-can-eat buffet. You want something, you better ask for it, unless you prefer having 2 slugs stuck in your hindquarters. Shotgun shells, sweetheart. That's what I'm referring to. Honey, I am a Scarecrow. I'm not sure what else you were expecting. So you really couldn't tell, huh? Makes sense. The owner should look into getting better lighting for this place. Anyways, you hungry? You must be, judging from your rumbling stomach. Here. I ain't no Paula Deen, but hopefully that suits your needs. You like it? You're welcome, sweetheart. Now tell me, what's an urban resident harpy like yourself doing out here in the countryside? Ran away from home, huh? Sounds rough. Your parents must be worried sick. Oh. I see. You had it rougher than a cat without their claws. Still doesn't explain where you got them boo-boos from. Ah, so you were caught in that storm. Figured that had to be the case. Trust me, hon. I've been on this farm long enough to know when a storm's a-brewin'. I got plenty more where that came from if you want some more. Uh-huh. Hold your horses. What's with the rush? Dearie, you ain't overstaying your welcome here. Besides, I had a look at those wings of yours. You won't be able to take off anytime soon. I ain't no doctor, but I wouldn't recommend putting pressure on those things. At least not until you fully recover. Told you. You seriously gonna walk the same distance as the Nile River back home? Maybe even more so? In the state you're in? That's a lie if I ever seen one. Why don't you just tell me what's really going on? I know I'm just a stranger, but I ain't the type to be promoting danger. Not unless you plan on stealing from my crop. I see. So an arranged marriage. Sounds like a royalty issue. An enforcer, huh? Well, that certainly sounds like a dangerous job. So let me get this straight. You ran away from home because your parents got you in an arranged marriage, and were persuading you to take a job where you basically become an enforcer for their highness. Is that correct? Well, all I can say is, you certainly don't look the part. Well then, what do you want to do if you ain't gonna do what your parents want? You got any dreams, at least? Any plans? So a traveler. That sounds nice. Getting to see the world and all its many wonders. Well, for me, it was both yes and no. I always wanted to be a farmer, have my own livestock and cattle. The country life has always been in my veins. It's one of the reasons why I became a scarecrow in the first place. Yeah, that's the funny thing. I was a human at one point. Come sit. Let me tell you a story, my feathery friend. Many years ago, I was just a lass in the hot deserts of ancient Egypt. My father was a weaver of garments, and my mother was a grower of plants. Their skills were highly praised throughout the lands. Even the pharaohs themselves sought out their services. It was a nice feeling getting to constantly see those in high power and experiencing the many treasures of royalty and wealth. But to me, the best part was the animals. I always had a heart for some of them. One day, a storm that had been brewing for a long while finally touched down. The storm was treacherous, nothing like we'd ever seen before. You had hail the size of golf balls crashing down like some sort of meteorites, lightning that burned brighter than Ra himself, and winds that blew so hard that not even Shu could compete if he dared try. Yes, imagine Hurricane Irma, but much worse. I was a foolish child. I didn't understand the dangers of being caught in such a storm. My parents were headed for safe grounds and shelter. I was supposed to follow behind them, but amidst the noises, a cry of a cat was heard. I saw the little fella trapped in the middle of the Nile, and I couldn't stand by and leave it behind. I attempted to save the cat. I like to think I succeeded, as it made its way onto the shore before the rapids from the flooding Nile swept me away. Osiris, the god of death and afterlife, had pity on me, and so took my soul and placed it within a scarecrow that had somehow survived the storm, where I remained ever since, and that's how I came to be this way. The last time I met them, they feared me. I guess my folks thought I was some twisted harbinger of death for some guy named Moses. Following that encounter, I said goodbye to my homeland and been on the move ever since. The journey was an interesting one, I'll tell you that much. I met a few others like me before I came here. There was this one fella in Higashi Shirakawa, Japan, donning a full-on samurai suit. That boy didn't speak much English, but at least he and the other inhabitants there were very nice. Then there was this other guy I met in Los Angeles, California. Apparently he's got a side hustle as a DJ during the month of October. Oh, and I should mention, he has a British accent, but he was nice. Very nice. Yep, I kept on walking till I eventually made my way to this farm. The couple here decided to have mercy on an old soul like me, and I became their personal scarecrow. Been here ever since. If I ever do decide to travel the world again, it ain't gonna be by foot. I can tell you that much. You know, We got plenty of space here in this little shack of ours. Why don't you stay here till you can properly flap those propellers of yours, huh? I already told you once, sweetheart. It ain't a problem with me or the people staying here. Trust me, the only folk that'll be overstaying their welcome is them damn crows. Well, speak of the devil, I better get back out there and handle my business. There's plenty of food left on the stove and a spare bedroom and bathroom just down this hall here. So please, make yourself at home. You're more than welcome to do so. No problem, sweetheart. Us country folk are good people. We're more than happy to welcome and take care of one's own. Now, I better get out here. Sounds like it's gonna be hunting season. Did you hear how badly that Scarecrow was pulling off that southern accent? I think she's faking it.